circled on their calendar. USF came into McCarthy last year and beat Gonzaga, and tonight it's the rematch we've been waiting for, the Bulldogs and the Dons in WCC play. 5 games into conference play, and it's tight at the top of the standings. Oregon State is still unbeaten. Santa Clara's 5-1. Gonzaga is 4-1 in third place, and those pesky Dons are 1 game back of that. Welcome inside the kennel alongside the great John Billings. I'm Greg Talbot. This game is really important in WCC play.
Yeah, any chance you get to go against an opponent who's right there next to you in the standings is a big one, but it's especially big here on home floor for Gonzaga, having lost to Santa Clara a couple weeks back, and it's not a balanced schedule this year, so they're not going to get a chance to get retribution. So any chance you get on home court, you've got to protect it if you want to stick with those top 2 in the standings. And remember, there's a bye at the end of the rainbow.
We have 2 of the top 3 scorers in the WCC going head-to-head tonight, in Lauren Whitaker and Candy Edekpaibe.
2 players who are very different, but both dynamic in their own ways. A couple of stat stuffers. For Edekpaibe, she's going to run the court. She's kind of an undersized big who can step out and hit the 3. She gets rebounds. She makes plays happen on defense. For Whitaker, there's almost nothing she can't do. She's fantastic in the post. She can step out and hit the 3, lights out from the free throw line. And as just a young freshman on this team, she's really led by example.
Speaking of Gonzaga scoring, Allie Turner has been on a heater for the Bulldogs, double digits in every game for the last 2 months while running point half the time. She'll be sharing that tonight with Ines Betancourt. And for USF, speaking of point guard, Ina Carrigal is one of the most impressive freshmen in the conference this year, a very confident and comfortable point guard. The Dons beat Gonzaga both times they played last year. It has been years since Gonzaga got swept by anyone in the WCC. The fans in the kennel and the Bulldogs want some payback tonight. Natasha Taushova and Taylor Smith into tip, and we're off and running in Spokane. USF, they are an aggressive guard-heavy team. They run a physical downhill offense, and they are a handful if you don't want to get in foul trouble. Mara Nada to Taushova. Not a bad 2, and chases down her own rebound, tipped away. And USF will keep this one early on.
For those that haven't seen San Francisco play, they're going to do a lot of actions around the perimeter. There really isn't a low post who's going to make that stagnant and kind of fill the lane. They're going to open it up and allow for driving lanes, and everyone on this team can shoot it, they can drive it, and they can play off the ball. Carrigal
Stepped out of bounds, but very impressive that she was able to turn that angle underneath the hoop. Here's Gonzaga's offense for the first time. This offense is all about efficiency. They're the best shooting team in the WCC from the field, and they're the 4th best three-point shooting team in the country right now.
The chess match between the 2 coaches. The Dons are going to clog the lanes, stop driving lanes. They're not going to extend that far. They're going to force players to make one-on-one plays like that.
And Ines Betancourt puts Gonzaga on the board.
Betancourt's such a great leader for this team, but has had a bit of a challenge scoring the ball this season. If she's putting it on, that's such an extra dynamic to her game.
Nada launches up a 3. It won't go down. Edekpaibe's second chance, no foul. And this will stay with Gonzaga, although USF thought they deserved the call. Not a surprise. USF is really doing their best to get Lauren Whitaker and Gonzaga's bigs in foul trouble tonight because they don't match up in terms of size.
Yeah, there's definitely more speed than height for this Dons team. They do have some depth inside, but nowhere near as talented as the freshmen.
Gonzaga turns it over. They have the worst turnover margin in the WCC right now. That is number 335 on the season. It's been their bugaboo all year. Edekpaibe missed the layup underneath, but a tremendous pass. And Turner moving quickly. Finds Taylor Smith, ripped away. 2 consecutive Gonzaga turnovers. And Edekpaibe turns it into points.
And not for the first nor the last time tonight. Edekpaibe is always leaking out early. She gets 2 or 3 fast break buckets every game. And if she's got a big guarding her, she can always beat him down the floor. Tonight it's Zia Kuso. So watch for Zia on offense, and then she's got to be able to sprint back.
Turner. Long on the 2. Knocked away by Smith. Gives Gonzaga the second chance. And Turner turns it into 3.
Big time offensive rebound by Smith. One of the best chances to shoot a three-pointer is off the offensive rebound because everybody's got their heads turned and shooters get a chance to set their balance toward the bucket.
Nada underneath. Shot won't go, and she's clearly trying to get Allie Turner in foul trouble. Turner again. Nearly back-to-back threes for the best three-point shooter in the WCC.
That one was deep, and it was in and out.
Edek Paibe draws the foul that time. What a passing sequence for the Dons.
You know what they want to do, and it's not just Edek Paibe. Cargo, whenever she gets a rebound, is going to look to run. This team has so many talented players on the court who can handle the ball. So it's kind of like a professional team where you'd say, if you get the rebound, I want you to push and get everybody out into lanes instead of just getting it to your point guard every time. If they can get out and get some fast break buckets, they're going to get some easy ones. The Dons don't want to get into a half-court matchup with Gonzaga.
Candy Edek Paibe has been an absolute star this year for the Dons. 14 points against first-place Oregon State, 12 against tough Portland, and 19 against second-place Santa Clara. She needs to have a big night tonight if the Dons are going to hold on and win this one against Gonzaga for the third straight time.
And already some subs for Gonzaga. Akuso was guarding Edek Paibe, didn't get back 2 or 3 times in a row, and immediately sent to the bench.
Out to Whitaker, still looking for her first points. Jaden Hale. Taryn Gardner. Can't get it to go, but she's going to put up a ton of three-pointers tonight. Edek Paibe again. She is so good in transition.
Anytime somebody leaks out like that, it's not only the player guarding them. Whoever's on the top of the key, who took the shot or who rotated up there, their responsibility is also to get back and stop that initial pass down the floor.
Hale in for Whitaker. Missed it. Hale gets the board. Second chance for the freshman. Her emergence, John, has given this team so much new energy and confidence.
Yeah, she's been fantastic, not just on the glass, but scoring. And you can see kind of she had a knack for where that ball was going to go. She's got a good sense for just a freshman.
Caragol off the screen. What a give and go to Mourinho. No foul. Refs are letting them play underneath. Turner, another three. You bet.
Cargo got stuck in a decision right there. Take Hale, who was streaking down to the front of the hoop, and stop the layup, or stop the best shooter in the conference. And she chose the 2-point to stop and probably should have stopped the 3. Stop ball first.
Off the ball foul on USF. Gonzaga will get this one back. Allie Turner right now, 6 of Gonzaga's first 10 points, both off of threes. They're finding a way to get her open.
It's interesting. Normally she's really patient and sometimes doesn't even take a 3 until the second quarter of play. Tonight they've been giving it to her and she stepped up and took it. She also took one from about 6 feet past the three-point line, showing her confidence right now.
Over to Hale. USF bothering Taryn Gardner on defense. And a charge on Gonzaga as McIntyre came flying through a screen.
I think Betancourt called for that, pushing a little too much. Oh, and then we got a substitution. I think Betancourt thought she was coming out. Wasn't aware the play had already gotten started.
Edek Paibe. Look at that jab. All the way to the rim. She missed it and Hale the rebound. Turner running with 6 points already. Hale loves the mid-range, but she'll find Gardner. Turner trying to create. Smith short on the long 2, saved by Gardner, but it's out of bounds first.
Not a bad look, just Smith not confident enough on the shot. That's the shot you were just saying that Hale has loved and made a living at. Gonzaga's going to get that all day because San Francisco will clog the lane.
That'll take us to our first timeout. Zags up 4. USF midway through the first quarter. USF was an absolute thorn in Gonzaga's side last year. They beat him 73-58 in San Francisco. And then in the rematch last year, USF ran out the clock at the end and beat Gonzaga by 2 in Spokane, 70-68. Much like the men's team was 10 years ago, USF continues to get the best of Gonzaga.
Gonzaga is going to get everybody's best efforts throughout the conference. But you're right, San Francisco's just kind of had the number. And I think some of that is the players they've had have been dynamic enough to adjust and be able to take kind of what this arena is going to propose. And they've been able to stick with GU. Now it's mental.
Carrigal banks it. Taylor Smith the rebound. Up to Gardner in transition for three. Drills it. Gonzaga has taken the lead early in this game because of their three-point shooting. That's their third so far.
And that's the second she's taken from well beyond the three-point line. She lost momentum for a second. I didn't think there was any way Gardner would try it, but she did.
Edek Paibe draws the foul. She'll get one more at the free throw line.
Gonzaga's got to find a way to stop the drive. Edek Paibe just having her way, getting to her spots.
Edek Paibe is one of the best downhill drivers in the WCC.
It's because she can handle the ball. Sometimes athletes who have the quickness don't have the ball handling skills, or maybe a shooter that doesn't have the ball handling skills to get to their spots. She can handle it and then matches it with the athleticism so she can find her way. Gonzaga's got to make her go left. Right now she's getting it to her right far too easily, but she's capable. She's earning that.
Edek Paibe has all 8 of USF's points. Gonzaga's been asking a lot of Allie Turner on offense so far. Here is Turner. Very wise, got Carrigal to follow her through a screen and a foul.
What you're going to see is San Francisco on these high picks, and really anytime somebody puts it on the floor for Gonzaga, they're going to drop coverage. So that means every player, all 5 defenders, is going to step towards the paint to stop a dribble drive. It's up to Gonzaga then to decide, are we going to take the shot that they're leaving open, and how does that defend?
Jump ball on the floor. Turner threw it off of Carrigal. This will stay on Gonzaga, but that was very nearly Gonzaga's 4th turnover already.
Yeah, there was just nothing there. Turner better off to just swing it around.
Turner to inbound. Finds Gardner just in time. Gonzaga's loving the perimeter so far. 3 to go. Turner didn't get it in, and Mourinho the rebound.
Edek Paibe was wide open down the floor there. Cargill couldn't find her.
Cargill draws the tip. This will stay with USF. Cargill, so impressive, the true freshman. She's hot right now. She has over 10 points in the last 3 WCC games, and good ones, Santa Clara, San Diego, and LMU, who took Gonzaga to double overtime.
She puts pressure on the defense as well. She's just always driving downhill, never just kind of dribbling out side to side. When she gets going, she goes to the bucket.
Edek Paibe again for USF. And Sierra Lichty is into the game for Gonzaga for the first time in weeks, coming off a lower body injury. Good for her to be back out there.
Yeah, you can see the big knee brace there. She hit a knee kind of down a little bit of a scrum under the hoop a few weeks ago, and she just caught a knee-to-knee knock. Caused some irritation there. Able to get back into it.
Whitaker hits from 3. Gonzaga's 4th three-pointer so far, the first for the forward. Zags red hot from downtown, 4 for 6. Mourinho to Carrigal. Look at this passing. Taushova knocks it down from downtown.
San Francisco's bigs can shoot it as well as the guards, so it's always going to be a tough guard, and it's going to force Whitaker far outside the paint. This is exactly why San Francisco's given Gonzaga trouble in the past. It's just that inverted play puts extra pressure on the bigger bigs.
Gonzaga's 4th turnover. Look at this passing. Edek Paibe through the zone, and she puts it down. She's got 12 of the 15 points for USF.
And other than free throws, Greg, she hasn't done anything but hit layups, right? So this is Gonzaga's defense. Got to adjust, got to find a way to force her laterally instead of getting right to her spot.
Alcuso drives. What a move around the screen, and a foul on the play.
If we get a chance to see this again, what makes that play is Akuso doesn't just take the pick and go. She turns a little bit right and even did a little inside-outside dribble before. So she sets up that screen and just makes it extra effective. Once she loses Edekpaibe, then a nice little seal at the end of it. Look at this little inside-out left-handed. She's going right, and you can see that extra step from the defender that allows her to get to the inside and then able to turn the corner. Lichty with a little bit of help underneath, too, that last kind of screen as it went through. Nice play all around.
Gonzaga goes 1 for 2 on their first trip to the line tonight. USF tries to close the gap with 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Julia Wilson back in for Gonzaga. She'd been injured recently, too. Cargill. Taushova went for her second three and missed. Chases down her own board and finishes. John, that's the second time she's chased down a rebound for the follow bucket.
Yeah, credit to her. Gonzaga actually had a great box out there, and all kind of looked at each other like someone else was going to go grab the ball. But Taushova had the alertness, and who usually knows where the ball is going to go? The shooter.
Loafing with 45 in the quarter. Freshman on freshman point matchup. Wilson with 5 and a kickball on Gonzaga. Allie Turner back in off the bench for Gonzaga, in for Paige Loafing.
Gonzaga already deep into their bench today. A few players that haven't been seeing as much time. 2 games in a 3-day span as you get into the conference play. Plus, I think they know how the pace of this game might go. San Francisco's going to want to run. Gonzaga wants to run. It could turn into a track meet.
8 seconds between the game and shot clock. Taushova! What a move on the B button. USF in the lead. Gonzaga with 15 in the quarter. Turner's been red hot from downtown. Turner to Whitaker. Wilson, corner 3, bang! Zags retake the lead to end the first quarter, 20-19. USF has been an issue for Gonzaga the last couple years. Looks like we have a tight one again tonight after one. USF at the start of the second quarter in Spokane. They're leading because of their three-point shooting. They are 5 for 7 from the field so far. Not a surprise considering right now they are the number 4 three-point shooting team in women's college hoops.
Yeah, a lot of that's Allie Turner. And then, of course, you know, anytime you're big, like Lauren Whitaker can step out and knock it down at the rate she has. But lately it's been Gardner as well. And that extra punch, having someone else on the wings to help spread the court that you've got to respect, has been such a big part of their offense.
Allie Turner, one of the top 23-point shooters in the sport. She was there last year as well as a true freshman. That one knocked away. Gonzaga's had a phenomenal recent history of top 23-point shooters following in the shoes of the legendary Brenna Maxwell.
Yeah, some of that's the offense, right? If you're a scorer and you're going to let it fly, you want to come and play for a coach like Lisa Fortier who's going to allow for an open offense and encourage that type of shooting. It attracts the players, and then they develop them.
Inside, Whitaker doesn't foul and takes it away from Mourinho. Wilson has been active in the first quarter. Into Whitaker, doubled, and she's still got it.
Excellent pass from Akuso, who was patient enough to let the lane clear and then find Whitaker, and she is such a great ball catcher in space, in traffic, whatever it is. She's able to make that grab and make the play.
Cargill missed, second chance for the Dons. Taushova has been so great so far. 3, Tirado off the mark. Edekpaibe underneath, and she follows. She's a 3-level scorer. She can do it from everywhere on the court.
And what's so impressive is they could run no offense for her, and she's going to find her buckets.
1-point game. Turner, another 3. Gonzaga is 6 for 8 from downtown. You know what's really interesting, John? They're the best three-point shooting team in the WCC, but 9 teams take more three-pointers than Gonzaga. It's about efficiency, not about volume.
This is as aggressive as I've seen Turner shooting the ball. A lot of times she's patient, lets it come to her, takes them in the second, third, fourth quarters, but tonight she started out right from the get-go, hitting not just threes, but deep threes.
Cargill drove and finished for USF, her first bucket of the game.
As well as Gonzaga shooting it right now. They're only up 2. San Francisco staying in it, and really it's been a matter of defense is not able to get the job done.
Knocked away from Whitaker, USF takes it. Gonzaga's 6th giveaway. Adekpaibe. No on the 3. Tirado tipped it. Taushova rather. And the Zags move again. Wilson gives it away. And USF recovers. Moving quick. Adekpaibe, how does she keep getting open underneath, John?
That can't happen. That was just a lapse of concentration. Everybody got stopped ball watching. 2 defenders were back but didn't get all the way back. They did the hard part and didn't finish it off.
Tie ball game.
And credit San Francisco, too. It's not just Adekpaibe running. It's everyone else looking for her. They're finding it.
Akuso. Five to shoot. Turner down to 3. Wilson knocked away, and a shot clock violation. Sensational closeout defense by Paula Tirado.
Yeah, and the rest of the defense all rotating, double teamed the high screen and made sure that Turner couldn't turn the corner and then rotate. And that's what they're going to do. They know that all their players can play pretty much interchangeably. Sometimes a defense like this will switch everything, but the way San Francisco does it is they just drop covered. It's kind of like Virginia used to do in the basketball game behind Tony Bennett, where when somebody drives, everyone's got an eye and they step toward the paint to clog it.
Tirado puts USF back in the lead, and she was asking for a foul. We know that's part of their strategy tonight.
Gonzaga's got problems right now. They cannot stop San Francisco, and they're getting layups. Everybody's got to keep an eye on the ball, and they've got to get a little stronger fighting through some of these on-ball screens.
The scouting report for USF says they drive downhill. This is very impressive, seeing them in person. Into Hale with 10. Freshman forced it up. Not a bad shot, but she came up short. Up to Adekpaibe again. In transition, it's Castro underneath. And the Dons reset. They are fast end-to-end, this USF team. Tirado overthrows Adekpaibe and gives it away.
Sometimes defense can be complicated. You know, we're going to try this, we're going to trap that, we're going to rotate here. Right now, Gonzaga is going to get back to something very simple. Get back. You got to get back, and you got to get all the way back. And that's not just the responsibility right now of Osorobo or whoever is guarding Adekpaibe, but all the guards who are on the top. If you're not crashing the glass to get a rebound, you must get back and stop the lane.
Gonzaga's turned it over 3 times in the last 3 minutes. And a foul on USF. That's on McIntyre. Gonzaga has not scored now in 3 minutes as Lichty checks back in. Taryn Gardner to inbound. She had a big 3 earlier, quiet since. Turner getting aggressive. The point guard to the rim, and she missed it. USF up court again. Williams underneath, and look at it, they did it again. She really stretches the floor.
Yeah, part of it is Gonzaga right now is rotating their big to that high post, so that means the person on top is the big. And they're just not getting back in time. It's not like a guard who can sprint back and beat Adekpaibe down the court.
Turner was looking for Hale. Gardner threw a screen. Inside to Lichty. She's back from injury. That was a great pass.
Yeah, when she's back in, you have a little bit more offensive capability, and you still have that high-low. Already Whitaker's getting more rest than she's had in the last couple months, so a big-time re-addition to this lineup.
Tirado to Adekpaibe. Driving with the left, knocked away by Osorobo. Here come the Zags, down 2. Turner on Tirado. Hale resets for GU. Zags have gone pretty cold the last couple minutes. Turner heats him back up with another three. That's her fourth.
She's hot right now to a point where you've got to deny her the ball. You can't let her catch it and have any look at the bucket right now. If she can get it off, it's going in.
Gonzaga a ridiculous 7 for 10 from three in the first half. Sol Castro on Hale. Couldn't get it. Edekpaibe the board, missed the second chance, and Hale the rebound fighting off Edekpaibe. Zags back into the lead after the Turner three. Living on the perimeter. Osorobo finds Hale. The freshman can't make him pay for two. Gardner nearly chases it down. Jump ball down low. It's loose. Gardner saves it for the Zags. And the Meade High School graduate dials up the two. Timeout on the floor. 7-0 run for Gonzaga. In the last 2 minutes, they're back in the lead, and we'll go to break. Zags up 3 on USF late in the first half because Allie Turner has been a shooting star, shooting the three. She is 4 for 5 from outside today.
She's been aggressive with it. She's seeked it out, and credit the passing for Gonzaga. They're finding the shooter in rhythm.
USF has been keeping pace because of the way they've run the floor in transition. 22 points in the paint. And 10 points off Gonzaga turnovers.
Little zone out of the break for Gonzaga.
Long two down from Ina Carrigal. She's done more passing than shooting today.
She's got size, so she can find her own buckets. Gonzaga's got to force her to her left hand. She's much more comfortable going right, but she knows how to get a defender on her hip and then patient enough to find it from there.
Paige loafing back in for the Bulldogs at point guard, the true freshman from Montana. Whitaker drives, finishes, draws the foul and one under the double team.
She had a great post position on the near side block. She was frustrated. Loafing didn't find her inside, so when it rotated, she had her mind made up. And honestly, showing some good quickness. She's going to be bigger and stronger than a lot of players guarding her. That time, able to get it with a quick step.
Lauren is a top 25 scorer in women's college basketball right now. Give her 8 points on the night, although she doesn't quite look like herself out there tonight.
Yeah, the substitutions have been a little earlier for her, so hopefully she's okay. But either way, she's got a little more blow early than normal.
Mara Nada knocks it down. She's known for being a great perimeter defender, although she's been a good perimeter shooter tonight.
That's a big shot for San Francisco. If they can spread it out, then you've got to respect that, and it'll keep the driving lanes open for players like Edekpaibe and Cargill.
Zags have made 4 of their last 5.
Whitaker.
Can't
give her that one.
5 of their last 6.
That's a defender who's saying, hey, I've got a lot of things I got to stop here. I'm going to choose which one I'll allow. And she allowed one that Whitaker will take all day.
Taushova traveled. But man, Taushova is electric on the floor when she drives.
It's because she can shoot the ball too, right? So she forces players to come out and close her down, and then she can find it in the lane. Such a talented player. So much international flavor for this team.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 different countries or so being represented.
As always.
Yeah, they really do recruit internationally. And with this team, you've got Spain, Canada, Edekpaibe's from Italy.
Norway?
Yep, Norway. And then, you know, with that international flavor, there's a skill set that's brought on the international game.
Whitaker draws the foul on the second time she went up. That'll be on McIntyre.
Ireland, Argentina, New Zealand, all represented from the San Francisco team. Of course, Gonzaga's New Zealander just fouled there, Whitaker. But that international, the way the game is taught there, it starts with the skills, right? So even a player like Taushova, who's the tallest player on San Francisco's floor, she's going to have shooting and ball handling capabilities that most guards would be growing up working on in the U.S.
Sol Castro checks back in for USF, one of the very few players who was on this team last year who beat Gonzaga twice. She's really effective at setting screens. Watch 24 do that for the Dons. Nearly tipped away. Gardner gives it up, and it's Taushova again. She's had an electric first half. Trailing, it's Edekpaibe now. Nada with 15. Caragol tipped away by Smith. Recovery. Castro down low. 3 from Taushova's long. And a foul under the hoop. It's on Gonzaga as Edekpaibe got sent to the floor.
That one whistled right in front of Lisa Fortier. She did not like it immediately after it. Those two were battling underneath. Akuso gives up a little bit of size to Edekpaibe, and so she was kind of battling and trying to seal her off. There was contact, but tough call.
Edekpaibe driving. Missed it that time. Castro the board. Second chance for the Dons. 15 now to shoot. Cargol. Long on the 3. Whitaker with the aggressive shoulder board inside a minute and a half. Loafing doesn't want the shot. Zags will look for the right one, leading by 3. Off the foot of Cargol. Zag ball.
Loafing in there allows Allie Turner to play a little bit more off the ball, see if she can find some space and find an open jumper here.
Wilson in for the Zags. Defense in length. Taylor Smith gets it. What an inbound pass by Allie Turner.
Yeah, just too easy. Allowed to go without being bumped at all. Everybody was so worried that time about Whitaker underneath and left it wide open for Smith.
Cargol on Whitaker. Long 2, Nada, long 3 rather, missed it. Wilson spins off. No shot clock taken away. Edekpaibe draws the foul she'll get to. She is
Electric.
one of the most dynamic players we have seen in the WCC in person this year.
Good players understand their strengths and then really leverage that, right? And so when she's got length, athleticism, she ties that with aggressiveness, and she puts players under pressure. I always hated seeing a player who had such capability but didn't use it, a player who could shoot it but doesn't take them, or a player who's got that ability to get the ball or defend but doesn't try to steal it. She knows what she's got, and she leverages it and just absolutely exploits her talents.
Edekpaibe made 1 of 2. Zags up 4. Chance for the last shot here. Akuso with 10. Down to 5. To Whitaker. What a pass!
Offensive.
Offensive foul down low. USF with the last bite of the apple at 3.5.
That's a little bit like, you know, when you're playing with your sibling and you do something first and then it's the reaction that gets the call. Castro is all over Whitaker there, and when she finally shrugged her to get her off, she's the one that got caught.
Cargol nearly put it down. It's a 4-point game at halftime. And here we go again. USF really putting a scare into the Zags. This team knows how to push their buttons.
Good first half of play offensively. I don't think either team will be thrilled about the defensive action from their teams. San Francisco, too many layups given up for Gonzaga and for GU. They had pretty much free reign around the three-point line where they're comfortable. So it'll be interesting to hear what Lisa Fortier has to say about this, but certainly I don't think either team will be thrilled about the defensive performances.
And we will talk to Gonzaga's head coach, Lisa Fortier, right now. Coach, Edekpaibe has 17 for USF. She's so good at getting downhill to the hoop. How do you guys stop her driving?
We need to sit on her right hand a little bit because she's going right a lot, and then we need to back up. She doesn't shoot a lot of threes. She's a capable three-point shooter. She's a capable mid-range jump shooter, but obviously she wants to get to the rim. So our team isn't really following that part of the game plan.
Offensively, you seem to get what you want, and have seen a lot of, I guess, confident shooting from Gardner, Turner, and company. And is that something you've stressed with the group about taking open looks early?
No, really the focus has been transition defense, and I don't think we've done that all that great. They're tough. They leak out. They're very physical. I think that they're allowing them to play really physical around the basket, so we're going to have to finish a little bit stronger. We want to take the open ones, of course, and knock them down, but I think there's a little bit of a different offensive emphasis for us.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
4-point game at halftime. We'll come back with highlights and more from Spokane, where yet again USF continues to make it tough on the Bulldogs. Bulldogs lead 39-35 at the half. The Coast to the Court Women's Basketball Series is your all-access pass to West Coast Conference hoops. They take you inside each program to get to know the coaches and learn more about the culture of each team. From practice sessions to game day in the community that supports the team, they bring you the stories that define each program. Catch the latest episode on the West Coast Conference YouTube channel at WCC Sports. The Coast to the Court Women's Basketball Series, it's your inside look at your team. Two tough teams going head-to-head tonight here in Spokane. Gonzaga up 4 on USF at the break. Greg Talbot, John Billings here with you at halftime. USF is making this so tough on Gonzaga because of how good they are in transition.
Yeah, they're just playing their game. They know how to get out and run. Edek Paibe starts it, but it's not one player. Everybody's got to have their head up. They're reading things, and then they're closing in. So even if she misses, there's been a putback here or there. That's where it starts with Gonzaga. They've got to stop the fast break, get back in defensive position, and then force players a little bit out of their comfort zone. You could hear Fortier saying, you can't let their best player who likes to drive with her right hand go right every time. So a couple adjustments there. Gonzaga's had their way on offense too. So neither coach is really loving life on a defensive end, but both should be pretty pleased with the offense.
Gonzaga's in the lead because of three-point shooting. We're going to have a heck of a montage for you after the commercial break. We're just going to show you threes going down from all over the court. Stay with us. Bulldogs up 4 in Spokane. McCannell Bulldogs up 39-35 on USF, and for the third straight time, the Dons are really putting a scare into Gonzaga and this loyal fan base. In case you're just joining us, man, we told you that Candy Edek Paibe was one of the best players in the WCC. Boy, is she. 17 points in the first half, plus 3 rebounds and a steal.
She's gotten to her right hand. She can get to the buck. You can see her explosiveness. This is all, though, in the half-court game. What it was set up is she got the rhythm going because she got out into fast break and got a few easy buckets, just beating everybody down the court. Gonzaga's going to have to figure that out. But then once she got the rhythm, she started scoring. Now, on the other side, thank goodness for Allie Turner. She got hot, and this was almost like a heat check in fast break, pulling up. Later, she hit one from deep. If Gonzaga can keep getting her space, you know that she's going to put it in.
Allie's got 12 points for Gonzaga, all 12 off three-pointers from downtown. John, you know USF's going to start closing out on her. How does Gonzaga keep getting her open?
Well, hopefully that would open up some space for Whitaker inside, right? So that's kind of the counter to them closing it down. But the way San Francisco defends the dribble drive, everyone sags in. So it may be the high pick and roll that defenders go underneath. And if you do, Allie's going to make them pay.
Well, everyone's on their phones here at halftime. I'm sure they're all watching the Allie Turner three-point highlights on the Gonzaga Women's Basketball X account, Facebook account, Instagram, however you track that team. They're all watching Allie Turner threes go down. We'll probably see a couple more of those in the second half. That'll come up in just a second. Bulldogs up 4 after the first half. Here in the McCarthy Athletic Center, Bulldogs up 39-35 on USF at the first half. Let's show you those first half stats in case you're just joining us. USF, it's been points in the paint, transition basketball. For Gonzaga, it's been all threes. Look at that differential. 2 for 11 for the Dons versus 7 and 10 for GU.
That's crazy to see such a contrast and to see the score pretty much matching up. Normally, if you're have that big of an advantage from the three-point line, you're going to run away with it. Threes count more than 2, Greg. I know you're a teacher. You probably understand that.
You know, I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher.
But the points off turnovers and the points in the paint, those always are going to align. Some of that is fast break buckets. So both teams really want to run. That's not a surprise from either, and I think we'll see a little bit more of that, trying to assert possession. It's just hard to run if you can't get stops.
Now, the issue if you're Gonzaga, you cannot count on a 70% three-point clip the rest of the way. USF, you can count on the transition. Yeah,
you want to get to the bucket, keep that momentum going. Sometimes coming out of the timeout, you feel like you're just as hot as you were in the first half, but you got to get a little bit of a rhythm back. So for Gonzaga, I would love to see them going downhill and get a couple buckets early. If you're the Dons, you know, Gardner hit a shot, Whitaker hit a deep shot, Turner hit a number of them, right? But really, it's Allie Turner. If you're going to extend your defense, extend it on her, because not only is she the one shooting, she's the one dribbling and then creating for her teammates as well. So a little bit of a chess match here. The first few minutes of this second half is going to be really interesting to see what the coaches do and how it's executed.
USF's Molly Goodenboard trying to lead the Dons to their third straight win over Gonzaga. Beat them both times, 73-58 on the Hilltop last year, then came into McCarthy and beat them by 2 in Spokane. She and this team have been a real thorn in the women's team's side for Gonzaga. So Gonzaga led the first half based on threes. USF forced turnovers, ran it in transition, and won on points in the paint. And another turnover to start things off.
Credit Goodenbauer for that one. She knew exactly what Gonzaga was going to run out of the timeout, told her team, and they were ready for it.
Mourinho forced that one up and missed it underneath. Allie Turner taking her time for the Bulldogs. Whitaker trailed, finds Akuso, just long. And Mourinho the board, she's active. USF, an aggressive team that loves to drive downhill. It was amazing how well they did that in the first half tonight. Kept getting to the rim, and Cargill does it again.
Yeah, she almost got fouled for an and one as well. Does such a nice job of looking it off, drawing the defender's attention elsewhere, and then driving down the line. When we mean downhill, that's towards the bucket, right? You could go side to side, you could kind of angle your way in, or you could go straight to it. This girl knows how to do that.
Edekpaibe, other way. Give her 19 points, shooting 50% from the field. And we're tied. A 4-0 run for USF to open up the half based on 2 Gonzaga turnovers. For Turner, leading the way for the Bulldogs with 12. Betancourt back on for 3, missed it. She really did not play much in the second quarter.
No, she looked like she might have taken a knock, whether it was on that offensive foul she had or something else. But when she went out, she stayed out for a long time.
What a pass to Mourinho, who finishes. Ina Cargill, the true freshman, is a top 5 passer in the WCC this year.
Well, we talked about the adjustments to come out to start the second half. Right now, all Dons. Gonzaga would have talked a lot about defensive adjustments, probably not as much about offense, but right now they need some rhythm on that end.
Dons up 2. Turner weaving and ties it for the Bulldogs.
Excellent job keeping her dribble alive. Did not pick it up when she got in the paint and able to sneak out the back end.
Mourinho finishes. USF is unstoppable on the outlet passes.
Yeah, Gonzaga just again caught sleeping there, but credit the alert passing, leading the defender or leading your attacking player into space.
Turner underneath. Akuso drives, contact, and a foul. Great passing on that possession.
And potentially a big foul here for Edekpaibe, just her first. She's been in foul trouble a lot. And really, she's a player for San Francisco that plays every minute unless she's in foul trouble. So for Gonzaga, nice to put a little bit of pressure on her. The other advantage, if you can get Edekpaibe defending under the bucket, where is she not going to be? She's not going to be breaking down the court and beating everybody down. So for Okuso or whoever has Edekpaibe guarding her, you've got to put pressure on her. You've got to make her respect you in the paint.
Akuso for her free throw. USF was really good about not fouling Gonzaga. That's only their 5th free throw attempt of the night, and they're 3 for 5.
Betancourt picking up full court here, and part of keeping these easy passes underneath the hoop away is putting pressure on the ball. Gonzaga's got to find a way to put a little bit more pressure and make that pass more difficult. And don't be surprised if you see Gonzaga extend the defense a little bit more, which is not necessarily to stop it at the three-point line. It's to stop the pass underneath.
Cargill draws the foul. Gonzaga must be facing the best driving team in the WCC. I mean, not even Santa Clara drives like this.
Well, part of it is everybody out there pretty much can do it.
Cargill back to the well. What a dish to Sol Castro, and a foul underneath. Zags getting hammered on the fouls by the officials to start the half.
Good spacing there from San Francisco, able to spread the court. 3 players on the backside, leaves A lot of room for the pick and roll on this near end. And Cargill, even if she wasn't looking for her own shot, got deep enough across the court to open up the angle.
Sol Castro misses it. The grad student from Argentina. This team is made up of seemingly exclusively true freshmen and seniors. Like, this thing is, it's old or young. There's no middle ground with USF.
Yeah, for a lot of players, this is the first time playing in the kennel too, right? And we know what that can do. For some, it can shrink. It makes them a little timid. For others, they're going to step up their game because there's an adrenaline level they probably haven't felt playing in front of this many fans.
Zags down 1. Not a great start to the second half. Akuso for Turner. Jabbing. Driving. Akuso elevating, just long, but she loves the mid-range. That is her shot.
Yeah, $1 million move, 10-cent finish there. She got to her bucket, just couldn't put it in.
Into Castro, can't finish and hail the rebound. Zags get lucky. Turner conducting this train to the rim. She missed it. Chases down the board. She got it herself. Still down a point. Turner through screens. Down to Smith. Hale. Oh, how about that passing?
Yeah, beautiful pass. Started from Turner and eventually finds Hale. Smith with a nice touch pass across the lane to her fellow big.
Bulldogs back in the lead. USF's hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Nada. Caragol again. Draws another foul. That's on Jaden Hale. She takes credit for it.
Look, when you know you've got to stop something from your opponent, there's a reason why you're trying to stop that. They're good at it, right? So let's give credit where it's due first after the beautiful pass there on that end, finished off by Hale. But Cargill and Edekpaibe getting to the right hand into the lane again, the defenders just have got to take that away. You got to sit on their right hip, make them go to the left. In some cases, you almost encourage it and give them that left-handed lay-in if you have to, just to get them out of their comfort zone.
And Cargill gets it. Well-balanced game, 8 points, 5 assists for the true freshman point guard from Spain. Turner back for Gardner. She had a big 3 earlier. Hale. Smith inside for Osorobo. Zags can't penetrate. Turner with 5. Looking. And a kick ball on USF. Zags get lucky there, John, because USF just closed them out from every which way.
Yeah, good defense right now. Rotations are on. Everybody closing out well. And the defense kind of adjusts as the shot clock develops. So it's going to be stop the drive, and then later it's more of almost a trap and pressure the ball.
Whitaker back in for the Bulldogs, but she does not look all the way like herself. What a pass to Hale, who finishes. She had about a millimeter to make that pass.
Yeah, and a great finish, too, up and under by Hale. It shows an athleticism from the freshman.
Zags back into the lead. We're trading blows. It's a boxing match between two teams that are annoyed with each other year in and year out. Cargill missed it. Zags lucky because she had the angle.
And what was the difference there? You made her go
Left
to
hand.
her left,
Left
right?
hand.
And I know it was actually probably more open than some of the layups she's had already in this game, but you forced her away from her comfort zone, and that's when good things happen.
And Coach Fortier told us at halftime that they wanted to get her off her right.
Same thing with Edekpaibe. You cannot let them get to their right hand. If you have to give something up, give it the left.
Zags leading by 1. Hale getting more active here in the second half. Turner around and off. And a foul down low. Edekpaibe tangled up with Osorobo. And they'll whistle Osorobo.
Yeah, clever play there from Edekpaibe. Osorobo had position, went up for the rebound. While the ball's in the air, Edekpaibe got underneath and then forced Edekpaibe underneath Osorobo and for the foul.
This thing is staying tight. Zags by 1.
Get ready, Hoop fans. West Coast Conference basketball is back in Las Vegas.
Spokane Bulldogs up 46-45 on those pesky USF Dons. Gonzaga's interior defense is having trouble right now. USF has scored 45 points tonight. 32 of those have come in the paint.
I'd like to see Allie Turner pull that group together just before they came out. A little bit of leadership from Turner. We know what she can do, but she's a bit more quiet and kind of subdued on this team. Still underclassmen as well, but she's going to need to step up and help lead. And a little defensive change for Gonzaga, and a timeout called from San Francisco to amend it. Goodenbauer immediately saw how timid her team was trying to figure out that three-quarter trapping press. Big time change in momentum there from Lisa Fortier.
Early break, Zags still by 1.
All right, fans, it's time to get those votes.
We're in midway through the third quarter. We asked Coach Fortier at halftime what Gonzaga needed to do to get a little room between them and the Dons. She said, get Edek Paibe to her left hand and stop the fast break. They've done one of those two things, John.
Yeah, they're mostly taking care of that, but that zone and trap out of the last timeout that forced Goodenbauer to call the timeout. This is going to be interesting to see if Gonzaga sticks with that. They like to try something different out of a lot of breaks, but I don't think that's a one-time thing. I think that might be something we see coming down the stretch here, just trying to get San Francisco out of their rhythm on offense. Not a lot of smiles on that bench tonight.
A lot of close games for Gonzaga the last couple of weeks in a program that's used to blowouts. Lauren Whitaker fouled and one.
In the first half, she took a big bump and she bumped back and got the offensive foul. This time she had the savvy to establish her position without throwing the shoulder. You could see how frustrated she was. She's been just absolutely been abused in the paint, but able to step into it right there and still go up vertical.
And she makes the free throw. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. USF made a push early in the second half, but now it's back to what it was at the break.
And Gonzaga back to the pressure.
Edek Paibe fed Mourinho, who couldn't finish. You can't let Edek Paibe be open anywhere near the basket.
Yeah, decent look there for San Francisco, but again, out of their kind of rhythm that they had really established in the second half. So I think the press is 2 for 2.
Turner driving through quadruple defense as they collapsed, and importantly draws the foul.
She's got a smile on her face because she knows she got stuck there. She kind of got bailed out with the call. It was a good decision. The defense gave her the drive instead of the pass, but then once she got in the lane, she wasn't really sure. Floater, shot, I think she was still hoping to pass to Whitaker on the roll. Good break for Gonzaga to get one of the top free throw shooters in the nation on kind of a freebie.
That's 15 points right now for Allie Turner. Her first free throw of the night is down. And the Zags are on a 7-0 run.
And then Gonzaga back to this pressure. So it's like kind of a three-quarter court. They're going to look to trap right at the half-court line. There it is. That's where you want to trap.
Edek Paibe. Over and through Whitaker. That's no easy task.
Nice step through.
Edek Paibe over 20 points now. That gets her to 21.
Like, you're not going to stop good players. You're just going to hope to make it hard for them, and that's what GU did there, and she still found a way to score.
3 from Gardner, no. Hit one in the first half, though. And up to Taushova, to Mourinho. Let Gonzaga run right past her.
Gonzaga still struggling to get back, but the Dons, that's because they've got bigs who can handle the ball and get out and get the running going quickly.
Taken away by Mourinho. 4-0 run for USF. Dons are back in it. And a tie game. About 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's been tight the entire way. Whitaker, 3, big one. Gonzaga, 8 for 14 from downtown.
Such good balance for a big shooter. You see she gets her feet set before she goes up every time. She kind of does a little hop before she shoots the 3.
Totally clean block by Jaden Hale. Bulldogs needed that one. And 3 subs coming in. Akuso, Lichty, and Smith.
Lichty's provided some good minutes coming back from the knee injury. Seamless, player that knows her roles. She's been good on offense and defense.
Playing more tonight than she had even, honestly, before she was injured.
Yeah,
and a turnover.
And if you can have that luxury of getting Whitaker fresh legs for the fourth quarter, that's a big asset for Fortier to be able to leverage.
Manetic Paibe followed Okuso right through that screen and almost caused an absolute traffic jam. Taken away from Lichty by Taushova. Dawn's down 3 and getting aggressive. Edek Paibe saved it. What a pass. Mourinho holds on. Behind the back. Lost it. Lichty's got it and redeems herself for the Bulldogs. And a tie-up. USF ball.
Alert defense from Lichty. Remember, she got a knee injury doing something very similar to that. Kind of got landed on a few weeks back.
Not afraid.
Not afraid to go right down to the floor and make the play again. There's nothing like having to sit out for a little while. That makes you willing to do just about anything when you get back on the court.
Castro back to Cargill. Under 2 in the quarter. Edek Paibe. Acrobatic. And talk about acrobatics, she somehow got a foul there.
Yeah, tough call there. I thought Okuso did a nice job. The contact was created by Edek Paibe. Credit to her for putting the referee under pressure to make a whistle. You could see there, though, Okuso, even in the paint, wasn't going to come out and defend it. She was going to make the jump shot be the option. Instead, somehow, Edek Paibe finds a way to get in. Yeah, I don't see much there.
One-point game. Gonzaga and USF only separated by 1 game in the WCC standings right now. It's playing out that way tonight, evenly matched. Gardner finds Smith. The Weber State transfer turns it over, out of bounds. And that's a tough turnover where one basket can give USF the lead back. Cargill. Edek Paibe nearly turns it over. Gardner's got it for the Bulldogs. This will be Zag ball. A lot of tie-ups tonight.
Yeah, I think a little extra pressure on the wing. Both teams are extending that defense out a little bit further. The Dons definitely want to jump those passes. Gonzaga doesn't jump it to steal very often, but just puts enough pressure on it, makes that catch harder.
Okuso on Edek Paibe. Okuso spins and misses. And Taushova the board. She's been quieter in the second half. Look at the passing to Edek Paibe. Dons looking for a clean shot. Cargill for Castro. What a pass and a foul.
Wow. I'd love to take another look at this one. It looked like the defender was definitely there. Now, maybe underneath in that kind of restricted area was the call. Let's see here. It's a great pass from Cargill. Castro, yeah, I think that's just too far under there. So whether Lichty was set or not doesn't matter. If she's right underneath the hoop, you've got to let Castro have a chance to land. Bang, bang play, a tough one, but understandable why the ref called it that way.
Misses her first. Tie ball game again in Spokane. 45 to go in the third quarter. Whitaker. Big three. Zags 9 for 15, and they're back in the lead.
Microwave coming in off the bench, instant offense.
Whitaker 3 for 3 from downtown. The 6'3" forward is on fire in the second half. 3 between the game and shot clocks.
And Gonzaga goes to a zone to finish the quarter here.
Cargill with 5. On Gardner, 3. Inside, Whitaker takes it away. 3 in the quarter. Gardner from deep, missed it. Big late 3 from Lauren Whitaker puts the Bulldogs in the lead after 3. And we're going down to the wire again between the Zags and these historically pesky Dons.
Turn your attention to Zag Vision. Enjoy along with tonight's edition. There's a few of those in the back of some of the closets here tonight.
Start of the fourth quarter in Spokane. Zags leading USF 57-54, mostly because of the third quarter play of the great Lauren Whitaker. She's got 19 and 9 now. She's 3 for 3 from downtown, John.
She was quiet in the first half, but comes out, and I mean, she just came in for like 30 seconds to finish the quarter. Comes in, does her job like a professional. And she's gotten a little bit more involved inside, too, which adds some extra rebounding capability. It's harder to run on Gonzaga when they get it into the paint. So we know what she can do. It'll be interesting to see. For her, she's gotten more rest tonight than she has in a lot of games recently. Gonzaga's gone 11 deep. When you kind of look at the bench action for these two teams, definitely more minutes for Gonzaga, trying to keep the starters fresh.
USF and Gonzaga only separated by 1 game in the WCC standings. Gonzaga's in 3rd, USF is in 4th. Edek Paibe is a menace, but she misses. And here come the Zags leading by 3.
Gonzaga switched it up there and put Smith on her. A little more size, a little more length, threw her off a bit.
Over to Betancourt, who has not played much in the second and third quarters. Back out there to start the fourth. Turner, 3, just short. Might have been a little bit tipped. Saved by Smith, and she gives it away. Edek Paibe trailing for Cargill, and the Dons slow it down. Their transition game has been why they've stayed close tonight. Mourinho fighting Whitaker with the Kareem hook, and she missed it. Gonzaga ball.
And I'd expect them to look at this one here.
Oh, they changed it.
Okay.
The ref under the hoop initially said Gonzaga ball.
Yeah, and there's definitely a little conversation between the two referees. I think that would have been reviewed because that looked like it was off. Yeah, well, right off the leg there of Smith. Could have been a foul, though. That's one of those where I think the referee gave the ball instead of the foul, but then in the end couldn't do that.
Nada. Just enough space, and she couldn't take advantage. Akuso on the move. Inside for Smith. Everyone's out of position with 20. Whitaker can't draw the foul. USF back the other way, down 3 now. Cargill downhill, underneath, and she got it. 1-point game.
Nice scoop, again, to the right hand, determined to do it. But credit Cargill, she's got a lot of size and strength, so able to take the bump and still finish.
USF is on the move, trying to close the gap.
Gonzaga look for a lot of two-man game now between Whitaker and Turner.
Betancourt down to 10 on the clock. Turned away with 5. Taken away. Nada, coast to coast. USF back in the lead with 8 to play.
Yeah, just too much dribbling there. Too much stagnant offense with the ball pounding it against the wood. You want to get the ball moving. When Gonzaga rotates the floor, the percentages skyrocket.
Gonzaga's turned it over 18 times tonight. USF has only turned it over 7 times. Akuso loves that too, and it's just off the mark.
Man, she's had 3 of those where she gets to her spot. Great move. Usually knocks that down, but tonight they bounced out.
Nada left her wide open, and she delivers. USF's pushing. They're up 3.
Smooth move from Nada there. Found her spot. Could have taken one more dribble and had a contested layup instead. Just took the easy J.
Kennels cheering on the Zags. Some electricity into the building now. Turner. What a screen from Whitaker. And Turner delivers off that screen. Timeout on the floor. It's Gonzaga down 1.
Gonzaga right now is going to have to go right back to those two, right? You know, those are the, when I say those two, Turner and Whitaker, they've been dominant all night. Normally, I feel like they would take a quick blow here, but they might not be able to.
Don's up 1. We'll go to break. Gonzaga 59. USF beat Gonzaga twice last year and only trails them by 1 game in the standings. We knew this was going to be close, John Billings, but Gonzaga is frustrated.
Yeah, credit the coaching staff for San Francisco. They've gotten Gonzaga out of their rhythm, and they've just punished them defensively. And San Francisco's still getting to their spots. Haven't had to shoot the 3, which they're not the best at in the conference, certainly. Gonzaga coming back out to a little bit of a change here. I think they're going to go back to that pressure and see if they can throw off San Francisco like it worked earlier.
This conference is not necessarily Gonzaga's to lose this year. Oregon State's undefeated. They already lost to Santa Clara, and they'll find themselves in a logjam right around 3rd place.
Whitaker getting a little bit of a blow before the last few minutes of the game here, too.
Nada through the zone. Couldn't beat it. Shot off the mark. Edekpaibe down low. Zags get it. Big turnover for the Bulldogs. Gonzaga has been on the wrong end of the turnover margin tonight.
Yeah, the key for that zone is going to be, can Gonzaga rebound in it? Because it's definitely going to help them keep players out of the paint and see if they can avoid the drive. But then it's a little harder to rebound. You don't have a dedicated player to block out.
Turner running point for Gonzaga. 18 points. 4 for 7 from downtown. Turner. Trying to get open. Smith from deep, just long. That's not her shot. Turner the board. Saves it. USF's fighting for it, and the Zags recollect.
Turner just couldn't get it to Smith. She dove down and was open underneath the hoop, but the defense stopped the passing lane.
Akuso for Turner with 5. Long 2 just short. And Edekpaibe so aggressive. Sprinting. 3 on 2. Rejected by Turner. What a night Allie Turner has had for the Bulldogs. Draws the foul on Taushova.
Did you know that Allie Turner had that in her game? Stopping the best driving finisher in the conference, probably. Rose up of a proper block at Dikembe Mutombo, if you will. I never thought I'd be talking about Allie Turner making that play, but that just shows some toughness and leadership. Nice play from the sophomore.
What was it Shaq said? I was unfamiliar with your game.
That was a really good block.
Inside 6 to play. Zags down 1. Turner. Foul.
Yeah, Whitaker's presence makes that, right? Because when Smith makes that screen, both defenders go with Turner and force her out of the lane. When Whitaker spends that, you've got to go out and you've got to worry about here on the pick and pop. It's a little bigger screen too, which doesn't hurt. It allows Turner to turn the corner.
Here's Turner.
And I like Allie Turner's aggressiveness tonight. She hasn't just looked to create or kind of feel the defense out. She's looked to push it and create the opportunity.
Zags back in the lead. She's got 20 points. Kennel coming to life. Edekpaibe to Mourinho. Missed it. USF is getting sloppy down low.
Yeah, beautiful pass from Edekpaibe, but you force it out of your star player's hands. And a better situation for Gonzaga.
Akuso for Turner. Whitaker down low, no foul, got the 2.
Yeah, that work was done well before the pass. Whitaker got perfect position and able to hold it off. Sealed it, got the angle.
5 minutes. 3-point game. We're going down to the wire between these two again. Nada driving over Gardner. She missed it. Edekpaibe the board. You got to be kidding me in all that traffic. Jump ball. Zags get it.
Edekpaibe just trying to will her team to this victory. How many times has she gotten her hands on a rebound or a deflection or something to create for her team? That time the possession arrow doesn't go in favor, but great play from the Dawn.
Zags are on a 6-0 run right now that's given them a 3-point lead. Gardner had the angle for Hale. The freshman up and over.
She's so confident for a freshman. She steps up in big moments.
Cargill, coast to coast. Late foul. Jaden Hale's jaw is on the floor.
Yeah, she's yelling, "I didn't touch her," as clear as day. Cargill not waiting for something to happen and getting back to what worked for the Dons early in the first half, just getting down the court quicker than Gonzaga and doing that after a make for GU, something that Gonzaga has often done to their opponents.
Taryn Gardner is laughing, and Cargill misses.
Here's another look at it. Hale saying, "I didn't touch her," and she was right. Unless somebody else got called for a reach-in that we couldn't see in that angle, that was clearly no foul.
Cargill delivers on 1 of 2, and it's back to a 4-point game. Turner calling out the plays. She's got 20 points.
San Francisco really pressuring every pass at the perimeter. Good chance for Gonzaga to go back on one of these.
Turner nails it! Her 5th three-pointer of the game. Adekpaibe fouled on the other end. USF can quash some of this momentum. Zags associate head coach Craig Fortier on the bench has his hands over his head in surrender cobra motion.
Good spacing there from Gonzaga. The floor well done. The pass comes from a good spot. Part of that is Zia Kuso catches that right on the three-point line. So her pass comes to where Turner is stepping into her shot. Instead of having to reach back for it, helps her to have a better rhythm and knocks it down. Those little nuances of getting your spots in the offense, getting that pass before the pass, can make the difference between a percent or two on the make.
The clock is on Gonzaga's side with under 4 minutes to play. Whitaker. Inside. Whitaker finishes. Oh, she is getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, perfect execution once again. That angle pass, and Whitaker is just dominant. She can catch it in the post.
And a foul before the shot? No. Timeout USF. What do you think about that, John?
Clearly they got to find a way to stop Gonzaga on defense. And then I think they want to talk a little bit about offense. They've got a few players who are doing a little bit more of a rebounding kind of defensive play. They'll probably swap out. We haven't seen Tashova in a little while. I'd expect to get her offense back on the floor as San Francisco's run into a little bit of a lull. And honestly, it's just come down to better execution for Gonzaga. Less dribbling, more getting to your spots and making those passes. Doesn't hurt that a fresh Whitaker came back in for the fourth quarter as well.
Well, it seems like Gonzaga is getting hot at the right time. Meanwhile, this USF team on your screen, they've missed quite a few shots from inside 10 feet.
They haven't hit threes for a lot of the night. They've been able to get to their layups. It's true, Myra had a few that were that kind of medium range right by the WCC logo, and you might expect her to make those. But Gonzaga did a good job of finally forcing. We talked about it for an individual player. If I'm really good with my right, make me go to my left. I might be able to do it, but I'm not going to be as good. Well, it's similar with taking the star player and making them make one extra pass. You get a player who's not quite as talented at finishing and force her to beat you, and that's not been the same story.
Cargill nails it. She has been a stud tonight. That's 13 points and 6 assists.
Clock's going to start becoming a factor pretty soon here now, where Gonzaga doesn't want to become timid and let San Francisco dictate, but they want to run some clock and be patient.
And Akuso draws the foul on Adekpaibe as she went by.
I think that's going to be important as Gonzaga gets pressure up on them. You're going to have to drive by somebody. You have to make them respect you either with a back cut or a dribble drive, and Akuso is probably the best on the team at doing that. Interesting here, Adekpaibe on Turner now.
Whitaker thought about the three. Through the paint. No foul yet. It's Akuso for three. Zia Kuso. Welcome to the game late. That's pretty rare. And the Zags all of a sudden are up 9. They've made their last 5 shots. Tausova missed it. Whitaker tips it. And here's Nada. Long two, banks it in. All right, so Gonzaga on the verge of pulling away. The Dons say, not so fast, my friend.
Nice job from Turner bringing it up under that pressure.
To Whitaker. Doubled on both sides.
Wow.
One more. Lauren Whitaker, how dare you?
For those that know this Gonzaga program, they'll recognize the name J.P. Batista. I want to reference him for two reasons. That was a play that J.P. Batista used to do in the post where you might have two players riding him like a donkey. But also, he's on the bench for Gonzaga now as the strength and conditioning coach for this team, and that was a weight room finish for Lauren Whitaker, showing the strength and then the touch to finish. That is cultivated over the summer, and it's a lot of hard work dedicated toward that finish.
Unbelievable. Lauren Whitaker, 25 points, 11 rebounds. After kind of a slow start to game, you can see why she is one of the top 25 scorers in women's college hoops. Unbelievable play. Play of the night.
Again, Gonzaga getting to what they want, right? And that's the difference between, I think, first half and second half, getting the ball in the paint a heck of a lot more. Yeah, they were hitting threes in the first half, but Whitaker wasn't getting it on the post. Certainly they weren't doing that in the third quarter. Credit the coaching staff, too. A fresh Whitaker in the fourth quarter, a lot because of Lichty, Smith, Hale all coming out in and allowing her to have a few good rests. She's going to get a little breather here as well right at the finish line. But impressive, and an appreciation from the crowd.
This game was tied not long ago. All of a sudden, Gonzaga nails 6 shots in a row plus free throws and opens up a late 10-point lead. What a 3 or 4 minutes of hoops.
Yeah. And again, the
turnover.
Defense.
Turner got it. Oh, wow, what a finish.
And I love the play to go to the trap and the pressure to make sure your team still stays aggressive.
Hale for Gardner. Zags doing the smart thing now, winding the clock. 10-point lead, inside 2 to play. Akuso for Hale with 5. Inside to Smith with 3. Gotta go! Gardner short and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, she just had to get it up as quickly as she could. Smith didn't recognize the shot clock, despite the home crowd kind of urging it on. A little offense-defense for a moment for Whitaker, but just giving her a breather.
Anyone else's heart pounding after the last 5 minutes? This has been electric hoops. Really good stuff. Mourinho to the floor. Taken. Oh, Akuso with the truck stick. Just chasing the ball, though. Zags ball.
Yeah, both teams looking at the official, too, to see if that was kind of unabated towards the rim. On the dribble with defenders back. So not an intentional foul, just regular.
And Akuso, who hit that monster 3, a chance to extend the lead. Amazing. Akuso only 6 points tonight, but those have been important points.
Yeah, she just leads by kind of a swagger. She provides a dribble drive, a little different thing than what Turner and Gardner have at the guards. She's been a fantastic addition to the team, of course, coming over from from St. Mary's last year.
Nada drills it. Timeout Dons. A little bit of life. Gets it back down to 9.
Greg, we did a game for Gonzaga really early in the season, right after some of the preseason tournaments. And part of the question was, what roles are players going to be playing on this team? And some newcomers, but a lot of returners trying to understand their role. I think what tonight showed you is that this team's starting to find their role.
Yep.
We know who's going to score, right? And it's going to be Turner and it's going to be Whitaker who are going to really lead that charge. But who's going to pitch in and be the third cog that night, and who's going to play the great defense, and who's going to get a clutch rebound or a big shot in a clutch moment. Everybody's starting, all five that you see in that screen, plus Betancourt behind. Lichty had a good game tonight. Hale has started to become a leader even just as a freshman on this team, and she's got confidence when she brings it.
Yeah, that double O team game against LMU about 2 weeks ago, she had 20 and 10. She was the third contributor that night. Tonight it's been more spread out.
Yeah, but I'm impressed. Like, Hale's calling for the ball with 2 minutes left in a crunch time moment. And as a freshman, a lot of times that's not going to happen. We almost forget that Whitaker's a freshman too, and obviously she came to Gonzaga a little early, got injured, so she's been around the program for longer than most freshmen would be. But this team is still really young, and as the season starts to progress, that youth becomes experience. And they've been able to weather some of these challenges, still learn where they need to grow, but still pull the wins out in the end. And that's impressive, and I think Fortier and her long-standing coaching staff that's been together for over a decade together, they're starting to cultivate and grow this team into a cohesive unit. Now San Francisco coming back with their own version of that similar press that Gonzaga ran moments ago.
Turner just juked Taushova to the floor. Timeout Zags with 1:06. Want to make sure they don't abandon possession. This game is still alive.
Yeah, and Gonzaga's going to have a tough time beating this pressure because they don't pass over the top especially well. You might find Whitaker near the center court. If you can get it to her, she can turn and face, and then she's able to distribute. As good as Allie Turner is with the ball, harder for her to see over that. That last time Gardner was the cross-court pass. That was the opening in the trap, but just didn't have the height to see it. So Fortier will call this out. With any press break, if you can get the ball to the middle of the court, avoid the corners, and especially avoid that right across half court where you kind of build yourself into a corner right after you cross that timeline. You don't want to go there and pick it up.
Gonzaga trying to close this thing out late against the pesky Dons. Whitaker fields it to Gardner.
Yeah, get it to Whitaker in the middle. She can turn and distribute.
Trying to force a turnover. They nearly do. Instead, it's a foul as Turner just hangs on.
It's also such a luxury that your two best players and maybe your two best ball handlers, when we talk about catching, passing, distributing, and dribbling, are both fantastic free throw shooters, Whitaker and Turner.
Tremendous stuff. Turn to the line for the Bulldogs here.
You mentioned it, Greg. The WCC is tough this year.
Brutal.
There's no sort of easy game, and I think you got to go back to the top maybe 8, and you'd say all of them are in the running for a top 4 spot and a bye in the conference tournament at the end of the year. So still a lot of work left to do, and don't be surprised if you see San Francisco make a run later on in the year. Remember, they've got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores too.
All right, that's a foul. It's free throw time in Spokane. 44 seconds, an 11-point game. What a night. We came into this ball game with Gonzaga and USF only separated by 1 game in the WCC standings. Gonzaga looks like they're going to hold on to do it here. So that should give a little separation in these standings, and it's going to be Oregon State, Santa Clara, Gonzaga, and then kind of a drop-off.
Yeah, and remember, with the 12 teams in the conference, the first and second seed will get kind of a double bye in the tournament. Then third, fourth will still get a bye. So you don't want to be outside of the top 4 and make it a really tough run in the tournament. You're going to have to win 3, 4, 5 games in a row, depending on how far back you come.
Okuso drills it. She's been so clutch late. She'll come out for Paige Loafing, and USF will try to put up a couple of late miracle threes.
These two teams will match up again in a few weeks. That's going to be an interesting one.
Tough to play on the hilltop.
Yeah, in the Bay.
Women's team not the only one who can tell you that. Gonzaga men have had trouble on the hilltop over the years. As Turner gets the board, and that'll do it. USF led late in this game. But Gonzaga storms back in the final 6 minutes and knocks off the team that was nipping at their heels. Bulldogs 82, USF 69. And the Bulldogs are in the hunt for the WCC crown.
This was a toughness game, Greg. This was a toughness battle. I think that, the adjustments and the execution was big time down the line for Gonzaga. But there was a moment where they had to decide, are we going to do this the hard way or are we going to fold? And they said, look, hard or easy, we got it. We'll take it. We'll step up. The leaders are starting to really show themselves for Gonzaga. San Francisco made it hard. Credit them all the way across the board. Everybody pitched in. Cargill showed why she's one of the top freshmen in the conference too. And certainly, Eduk Pibe is going to be a handful for anybody in the WCC.
Our player of the game is Lauren Whitaker for the Bulldogs. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal.
Tonight's first Interstate Bank
National Freshman of the Year, question mark?
co-player of the game.
I'd like to see a player who's made a bigger impact. I mean, there might be players who are better as a freshman, but I don't know that there's anybody who's made a better impact and helped lead the team from just about every stat and then in big moments. And when the game was important tonight, she stepped up. Not just those buckets, we saw those, and those are going to make the highlight reel, but she got deflection, she rotated for some good stops, she got rebounds, and just kind of helped lead the team from the front.
She helped win that game, obviously, late against LMU in double OT when she had that and one. She did it again.
Yeah, and I think as a team starts to grow and learn their roles, knowing where you go in crunch time, so big and nice to have multiple options. And speaking of multiple options,
You got it, Allie.
there you go.
Here we go. We're with Gonzaga's star guard, Allie Turner, who had a tremendous game herself. 25 points, 5 for 8 from downtown. Allie, how well were you feeling that tonight?
I was feeling pretty good tonight, and my teammates were finding me for pretty open shots, so it was working out.
You guys, that last 6 minutes,
Yeah.
spectacular. How did you guys close it out that efficiently?
Yeah, I think we were talking about being more intense defensively and offensively, running our stuff, not letting them have straight line drives to the basket, not letting them have open threes, which we were doing pretty much throughout the whole game. But we really locked in those last 6 minutes.
We're seeing some of your three-point shots and some of the plays here tonight. When you start feeling like everything you put up is going in, how good does that feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. And again, I was saying my teammates were finding me a lot this game, so it was working out.
Allie, I've seen you come off screens and look to create. In a crunch time moment, a couple crunch time moments tonight, you said, look, I've got it, I'm going to take it and go. Tell me about the leadership. You and Lauren both are starting to say, look, we've got fantastic teammates around us, but sometimes they look to us, and you seem to be more and more comfortable in that.
Yeah, for sure. Last year I was just looking to get the ball to Vonnie. It was pretty easy, just get it to her and she'll score. So this year we don't have Vonnie. We have me and Lauren, and Z stepped up a couple crunch time minutes. So I just realized that's what the team needs right then. So just trying to do that.
Allie, last question. Third time in a row, at least for you at Gonzaga, that USF has really played you guys tough. They beat you twice last year. What makes them so hard to play?
Yeah, they're a super aggressive team, super handsy, really physical on defense. They get us out of our stuff a lot, so we were focused on just not playing out towards half court, playing towards the three-point line, just getting in our stuff and running clean offense.
The great Allie Turner. Thank you so much, Allie. Great
Congrats.
game.
Thank you.
82-69 final score. John Billings Bulldogs pull it off. What did we learn tonight?
I think we learned that they can win in a few different ways. In the first half, it was jump shooting and utilizing kind of those guards. In the second half, it was getting the ball inside. I was impressed that they played 11 deep in the first half, and sometimes that doesn't maybe show up on a score sheet where you say, wow, that person contributed, scored a bunch of points, but it keeps your starters fresh, and later in the game when you need them, you've got them. And I think a team that can win in multiple ways is really important when we get towards the stretch. March, etc., you're not going to always have things going your way, and this team showed they could do it.
The Bulldogs are getting hot near the top of the WCC standings. They hold off a tough USF team tonight to an 82-69. So for the great John Billings and the rest of our ESPN Plus crew, led by the legendary Stephen Carr here in the kennel, I'm Greg Talbot saying good night from Zagville, where it's a great night to be a Zag.